How are you feeling about the fact that we've got potentially 6 weeks left? The first sort of 2 weeks that I really struggled with my body image as pregnancy, a little bit cheeky, a little bit naughty. We have hit 31.5 weeks, alhamdulillah. As you can probably tell from these acne stickers, my skin is not doing great as it is. I think it's mostly to do with hormones. First week that Waqaar is back, I just need to get into a good flow of third trimester things together. Definitely involve starting our hypnobirthing courses and writing our birth plan. So that's kind of what a lot of this vlog is going to be about. I'm like now realizing as I've started like reading about the birth, because I literally have put off anything birth related until third trimester. I literally have been skipping past those chapters or like not reading up to those chapters up to this point. There is no manual, I think that's what it's called. It's so funny, guys. It's honestly, it's so funny. It's a little bit cheeky, a little bit naughty. Definitely not a professional sounding book, but I like that because I do have the professional sounding book. It's like I do have written by a midwife, and I think there's a time and place for both. And I like the fact that there is no manual one is so humour filled. Honestly, last night I couldn't sleep. That's one thing as well, is that my pregnancy insomnia has been insane. I think definitely to do with everything that's going on in Gaza right now as well. And basically my whole sleeping routine has taken a complete turn. I'm now sleeping after Fajr, and Fajr is 6 AM. So I'm sleeping after 6 AM every day, and I'm tending to have like a nap in the day as well. It's not been a great time for sleep. This week I want to start drafting up a birth plan because inshallah next Monday we have a 32-week appointment with midwife, and she was saying to like start thinking about your birth preferences. So yeah, we're going to do that, and it's really important that we do that together because a lot of the times when you're in active labour you're not going to want to speak, and you're going to want your partner, your birth partner, to know exactly what you're wanting and what your preferences are, so that you can get as comfortable in what is one of the most actually challenging, difficult and painful times of your life, but also exciting because the end goal is to inshallah meet baby. Definitely have been very open to hypnobirthing from the start. There's actually 2 courses that I've bought, which I know is very excessive. You probably only need to buy one. What I will do is let you guys know which one we prefer once we've done them. One of them is the Positive Birthing Company, which I think has been around for a long time. A lot of people that I know have recommended that. The thing I don't like about that is that you only get access to it for a year, which I think is really rubbish, because if you paid for it, I think you should be allowed to keep it for at least 5-6 years. Inshallah, like if we're blessed with a second pregnancy, I'd like to go back and like reread and stuff. So because of that, I will be taking notes. Then the other one I saw on Instagram, it came up as an ad. The main reason why I got that one was because I watched their free taster class. I liked their approach, these 2 young mums, their approach to it, and they both said both their first births they had no idea what hypnobirthing was, and it was not as comfortable as it could have been, and then their subsequent births made much more easier because of it, and also had a discount. Obviously once you watch these like online taster things, they usually give you a discount, so I thought the price was really decent, and you get a pack of affirmation cards. It hasn't arrived yet, but you also get a postpartum course as well. I'll leave the links below anyway, guys. Start with an hour today I think, and then we'll just like adjust. I think for some parts I'll just do myself, and then I'll like rewatch it with Waqaar, things I think it's important for him to see, because he's the kind of guy, mashallah alhamdulillah, he's very hands-on and he's very helpful and he wants to be very present. But in the past, like when I've been in pain and stuff, he's been like, what do you want me to do, what do you need me to do, what do you need me to do? And when you're in pain, you're like, I don't want to be speaking right now, I just need you to know. So that's why this time now is so important. I just like did that because I think your full term 38 weeks, I believe, might be 40 weeks. By 37 weeks is like sort of when you can expect to like go into labour at any point, although obviously there is no set time, like premature babies exist, you know, and that's why like I think as soon as I hit the 3rd trimester I was like what if the baby comes, what if the baby comes, like more I am being proactive in educating myself and Waqaar, the better I'm feeling about it. Knowledge is power at the end of the day. And apparently only 5% of babies are born on the due date, which is a bit crazy to me. Kind of makes more sense to have like a due week, because I'm sure like the mental pressure of the date would get to people. But I know obviously everyone's different. Like my sister-in-law, both her kids were born a couple of days early. One was born a week early, she had to be induced, and then the second was born I think 2 days early, like before the due date. Yeah, they do say that typically your pregnancies go on to a similar experience that your mum had. And so far I feel like that has been the case for me. Update on the PGP situation, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Like the exercises and the birthing ball have been working a treat. I honestly have hardly used a back brace, which I feel bad about, but I haven't really felt the need to use it because just using the birthing ball whilst I'm sitting down editing, and then just like when I'm watching TV, or even like the other day, even last night or Sunday, I was doing my journal for the week and I was on the ball. It's just been so good at like loosening up the muscles and the pelvis. I feel like my pain sometimes, which was at like 80%, has like completely gone down, and now if anything I only have a little bit of a dull pain at the front, but that's not been too bad, alhamdulillah, at all. So really grateful about that. Unfortunately, on the negative side of things, yesterday we did spend about 4 hours in hospital because I definitely have some form of infection. Don't know what it is, and that's the thing, like, because I don't think it's a UTI, and because it's not, even with UTI, like regardless, like when you're expecting, they're not going to just give you medication. You're like, oh, here you go, try this, hopefully it helps. I had the same sort of pain that I was having the week before. The midwife, when I called the triage, she was like, oh well, just monitor it and hopefully it should go away. I wasn't that impressed with that because I was in a lot of pain, but maybe I hadn't expressed that enough. And then this time around, like, again, the pain was just so bad, like burning, just horrible. I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit, I didn't know what to do with myself, and I was in a lot of pain. So I called again and they asked me to come in like a little bit later on, because they were like, we have got an emergency situation at the moment, you're not going to be able to be seen by anyone. So I had just got back that night, Sunday morning, and then we went in about 12-ish, 1 o'clock. And then obviously I did like a urine sample, I did a swab as well. They took my blood pressure, they checked baby's heartbeat, alhamdulillah, that was all good. Basically we ended up sitting there for ages waiting for a doctor to come and check the swab and, you know, check my results, and it just didn't happen. And even now it's like Monday and I haven't had any call or anything like that to confirm what I've had. She did say it would take a few days, so I'm just praying that I get some sort of confirmation soon so I can get the right medication. These sort of things do happen, it's like, it's not uncommon, but it's just very uncomfortable. But yeah, like basically apart from that, I've tried to sort of stay as positive as I can, and like distracted and busy. And there's always stuff to do, guys, there's always stuff to do. This is the first sort of 2 weeks that I've really struggled with my body image as pregnancy. The first trimester I was very bloated and I was like, ugh, so I was trying to like hide it and act like I wasn't pregnant, and obviously just going through first trimester things. But then once I started getting a bump, I loved it, because I said to one of my friends, it's the first time since I've been married that I've enjoyed not having to like suck in my stomach. And I feel like there's so much pressure on us as women, especially once you're married, like, oh, when are you gonna have kids, when are you gonna have kids? And like once you are married and you start gaining that happy marriage weight, then people start assuming, and it's very, very, very annoying. I hated it. Then having a bump, I was like, oh, this is nice, like I don't need to like worry about, you know, how I look at all. I have nearly reached the recommended weight gain amount. We still have 2 months to go, and that was slightly upsetting me, and I was like, wow, you look nothing like that girl. And it's so superficial, I know, and it's so ridiculous, because like obviously you're supposed to gain weight in a healthy pregnancy so that baby can have what baby needs. But yeah, it is a bit of a trip to see your body change so much. I think it's important to be honest about that as well. I don't think there's much to gain from like toxic positivity, where it's like the whole time you're like, well, this is great, this is amazing, when actually it doesn't feel like that. Like nothing fits. I have just brought some maternity trousers from H&M, which they're great. I actually really like the ones that go over the bump, because I think maybe because I'm obviously like more heavily expecting in autumn winter time, it's more cozy, it's more warm. I don't think I'd enjoy that in the summer. A lot of the clothes that, you know, I just normally would wear, I have had to put them under the bed. It is what it is, like, it's, you know, and inshallah it's temporary. That's what I'm telling myself, and obviously I'm like reminding myself like how blessed I am to even be in this position in the first place. But it is a bit of a trip, trying to like be productive, but also accepting that my body needs more rest and needs to chill a bit. Also, I did realise when I was going through my videos that like it looks like that a whole pregnancy all I've worn is my dressing gown. Which it is what it is. Like I have been in a super comfy mode, because again, your whole body's changing and you want to support your body and make your body like feel its best. But I promise I haven't just been wearing my dressing gown. 31 weeks. She did measure me yesterday, the midwife, and she said that I was measuring at around 29 weeks. But honestly guys, like the way that they measure is so bizarre to me. Like they literally use a tape measure and they go from the top of your belly to your pelvic bone or your pubic bone. This is bump at 31 weeks, alhamdulillah. Depending on the position of the baby, I can look bigger. Like when Waqaar came back, he'd not seen me for like a week and he was like, whoa, it's like, I feel like your belly's looking so big now. But then like when we were in the hospital and obviously I was lying down, I was lying back, it looks a lot smaller. So I don't know, I'm not gonna overthink what she said, because I feel like these things really vary. Overall, I feel like I have generally been carrying quite neat. Excuse me. Up until the last 2 weeks, where I feel like now the weight's really sort of come on to the rest of me. So I realised that you've not vlogged. No, that's a lie. I think you were in one video after the 20-week scan, and that's it.
Can you tell baby girl how active I've been?
And now we're on week 31. Would you like to say anything at this point?
I've been working behind the scenes. I've been grafting. I've been doing things.
What are we about to do?
Hypnobirthing.
Do you have any thoughts and opinions on that?
I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna find out and I'm gonna learn.
How are you feeling about the fact that we've got potentially 6 weeks left?
Ready, steady, go.
You actually feel ready? You actually feel ready, Waqaar? Are you excited for the birth?
Inshallah.
Are you going to be there for the whole thing?
Of course.
Are you squirmish?
No.
You scared of blood?
No.
You going to cut the cord?
Yes.
Are you going to not cry when I squeeze your hand and break it?
No. I've not had my rest day yet, but
yeah, unfortunately I was supposed to rest yesterday, but we ended up spending half the day in hospital. And you know they still haven't got back to me. I need to learn techniques. It's a lot about breathing and this and that, and it's practicing.
I'm gonna sit here doing yoga.
It's not yoga, but it's about it's about control. It's basically natural pain management, and it's a lot about your mentality as well. Because I've started watching birth videos now, and I don't know how people can put their birth videos online. You're at your most vulnerable position and you're showing the world how you are. This one woman was like, I can't do it! I can't do it! And then everyone in the room was like, yes you can! She's like, no, I can't do it! And that was with the epidural. She'd had the epidural as well. But the pushing part, because the first baby is supposed to take between 30 minutes to 2 hours to push out. And then also you have to make dua that the baby doesn't get panicked in the middle of it, which can lead to an emergency C-section. If the baby's heart rate starts dropping. As you can see, Waqaar did fall asleep after about 15 minutes, but it's fine. He got the intro. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be doing both of the courses, and then I feel the key points I'm going to get him to watch himself. There are also workbooks for both courses, and there are MP3s for both courses as well. So far I have done the intro for both of them, and I'm on the sciencey bit for the TUB course, and basically all it's reaffirming to me and making clear to me is that I'm so glad that I am doing this, because essentially hypnobirthing, although it sounds all woo and hypnotizing and all this sort of stuff, is essentially the psychology of birth and the understanding of what your body's going through, and also understanding that if you can change your mindset around birth beforehand, then when it actually comes to it, it's not going to be this terrifying thing that we have all been conditioned to believe in, myself definitely included. All I've found myself saying for the first 5 months, especially after 3 months when I started telling people, was, oh, I'm not looking forward to the birth, oh, straight away. Just watching that this evening has been so eye-opening, because it's I'm already painting a narrative for myself that it's going to be a negative experience, because that's what we've been conditioned to believe, but actually that's very, 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 very damaging. So I'm very glad I'm doing it. I'm going to take it in chunks, so I'm going to take a break now and let that information sort of digest. A lot of the science of it was really interesting. It was about trying to get your body away from the fight or flight state and get into the mindset of knowing what to expect. Your mind's calm, and therefore your body can be calm and your body can work as effectively as possible. It's true what they say, for the vast majority of people who've done hypnobirthing, they are actually able to have faster births because their body is working correctly. It's working with them, it's working with their mind, the mind's working with the body, everything's working together with the baby, and the baby is able to come out quicker, and generally you're supposed to have a positive experience. Like I said, I'm 31.5 weeks, so I feel I've started at a good time. Obviously baby can come at any point, there's no guarantee at all, but just starting this now and then chipping away at it, basically both courses, I think will be really, really, really beneficial. I'm feeling very uplifted after that, which is great. I'm going to get on with some of my work now, maybe photography work. Got a lot of editing to do. So far so good. I am completely out of breath just by speaking. That's what third trimester does to you. Whew.